commonality of baseball is the same whether you're 8 or 68, or whether you're from a town of 25,000 or a town of 5 million.
My dad, my uncles, they all played, not professionally, but you know, in the sandlots and stuff like that. So it was something that I grew up around and had been doing ever since I could walk, really.
When I was like 5 or 6, always my dad taking me to baseball stadiums.
My grandfather encouraged me to become a baseball player. He got me my first baseball glove, and I remember playing catch with him.
I remember cutting school in 6th grade to go watch Bobby Richardson and the Yankees play Bill Mazeroski and the Pirates, and getting my heart broken by Mazeroski, who I still can't stand to this day, although I respect him as a ball player.
When I was a kid, my folks took me to a Cardinal game. You're walking through the concourses and it's kind of dark.
And you walk through that tunnel and all of a sudden, boom, there's the lights. And it's so bright and it's so clean and it's perfect.
Certainly come to a lot more ball games at 68 than I did at 8. It was part of our summer.
Well, in 1977, I completed my college career at Arizona State, and so I began my baseball career professionally at Burlington in the Midwest League.
5 years of minor league baseball. At the highest level I got with A-ball in the Carolina League.
I was the 31st round by the Indians in 1990.
The sound of the ball hitting the bat.
Every night at the ballpark, I buy myself a bag of Cracker Jacks. I like them.
You can smell the smoke coming off of the bat on a foul ball sometimes. Everything I read, everything I consume almost is baseball related. And I never get enough.
I don't know as much about baseball as, you know, some baseball fanatics, but I really enjoyed the game.
You know, this is my 30th year in professional baseball, and hopefully I can go another 30.
Get a little bit of mud, and we just take the shininess off of it and make them a little more so the pitchers can grip them a little bit better.
Every major league club has a AAA club, a AA club, a high A club, a low A club. So we are the low A club of the Kansas City Royals.
There's only, I think, 140 full season minor league teams in the country. We're one of them. We're the smallest market.
It's always been called Community Field, I think, for the very reason that that's what it represents.
Don't say it's the Burlington Bees, it's your Burlington Bees, which means it's the communities.
They're run to break even. They're not run to make a profit.
I have 2 in this one.
The staff, I think, is more committed too, because a lot of it's volunteer.
All right, James, step up there. We need a winner. We haven't had one for a while.
Free to park, costs $5.50 to get in the gates, and it's $2.50 for an ice cold beer.
I'll be honest with you, we probably consume more beer in that little haven of the stadium than any other part of the stadium.
When people come to us, they go, this is what minor league baseball is kind of what it's supposed to be like.
The fans that we do draw are outstanding.
Everybody knows who Dancing Bobby is, and if he's not there, people ask about him.
He's a friend at the ballpark. Everybody's a friend at the ballpark.
Joe, congratulations. You're the owner of the dirtiest car in the parking lot.
When I was around 10,000, somebody asked me that, so I sat down and counted one afternoon. I'm at over 72,000. A lot of them are kids who've never gotten out of Class A ball.
We have to remember that the players belong to Kansas City, and they're not necessarily focused on winning every game in Burlington, Iowa.
We have rules that the organization sets down. My rule is you follow it. We wear collared shirts to and from the ballpark. We don't wear sandals. We stand all on a line during the national anthem. We have to wear our socks up. So our facial hair, we have to be pretty clean shaven. We can have a mustache. The other rule is you give me 100% in everything you do. So I didn't make them, but it's my job to enforce them, and I will.
A lot of them already are millionaires. Every team has 1 or 2 of those guys, if not $2 million, and they sign for $200,000 or $300,000.
When you're young and you're a player, you don't actually think that you're going to be coaching and stuff like that. You kind of think you could play forever. When I wake up in the morning until I go to bed at night, it's all I think about.
Odds are that anybody that's out here, it's probably going to be, you know, 4 or 5 years before they make it to the big leagues. So we might have had 50 guys come through here this year. One of them might make it to the big leagues.
This is someone pursuing a dream, and they're doing it right before your eyes.
Some of them, you know, it's a far-fetched dream, but they all have the same hopes, and literally you see them improve through the season. That's interesting. And you also see some who go the other direction, and that's the unfortunate part of this business, is it is business.
You feel for a kid when he has a bad outing because you know that they're thinking the Grim Reaper's right behind them too.
Soon it will be gone, 'cause I'll tell you everything about living free.
My goal is to become a major league umpire, but it's been said to get up to the major leagues from start to finish is about 7 to 10 years.
I would like to be a manager. I mean, I don't want to be a hitting coach all my life, unless that I can make it to the big leagues as a hitting coach. But it's hard. You don't see that many Hispanic hitting coaches in the big leagues.
That's just part of the game. As a matter of fact, it's almost 50% Latin, 50% other.
There are kids from Colombia, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Dominican, Nicaragua, Panama. A lot of times Dominican is used to describe all Latino players. These guys are coming from a country where there's nothing.
Next one's really easy, Bonilla. You can do it. It's simple.
Es so easy.
Nice job.
Estrés. ¿Y cuál es estrés?
Look at me. Look.
Wow.
It's a long home run.
Let's go, yo! They know me before I even meet them.
There are groupies. Just go stand outside the clubhouse after games and you will see groupies.
The girls that are down there who want to attach themselves to somebody who's going to be famous someday.
Cleat chasers, jersey chasers.
I'm sure to some people it looks like my friends and I would be groupies.
They're not all bad girls. They're just girls who like to be around the ballpark and like to talk with the players.
The lines have changed over the years, but the story is still the same.
1-2 pitch, runner goes breaking ball, swing and a miss. Franklin goes down, he is retired, and the game is over. Bees win by a score of 6-4. Bees will finish this season with a series victory over the Clinton Lumber Kings, and they'll go for the sweep tomorrow afternoon.
That team helps make that town. Without that team in that town, it takes a huge chunk out of it.
People know who the Bees are. Everybody does. I mean, everybody who's in the community, even people who don't go to games, they know who the Burlington Bees are.
You have to love baseball, and as I said, I could probably quit today and find a job where I'm working 40 hours a week and, you know, making the same amount of money as I am now, but would I love going to work every day? Probably not.
Of course, that's one of the things that we say to these newly found success people in these new markets. They go, oh yeah, we're still drawing 5,000. We were drawing 6,500 a few years ago, but now we're down to 5,000. Just look at them and you say, do it for 100 years and then just see if the novelty wears off. And because there's something to be said about patience and longevity, and we're about that here in Burlington.
The Bees are a family, even though the people in the family change every year. Isn't that weird? It's weird.
If we're on the road, we'll have a 3 o'clock bus, and I'll get to the ballpark at noon and get my work done and just go and sit in the dugout. It relaxes me. I'm a pretty religious person, so I kind of pray and talk to God. Just relaxes me. Like I said, it's my sanctuary, and it's something that clears my head and gets me ready for the day.
I'm getting paid to be here. You know, a lot of people dream about this stuff.
The ultimate goal, I want to be the longest running public address announcer there. I want to do that till the day that I die.
And nowadays, you know, I can't walk out there with the glove and the uniform and, you know, run out to shortstop and play it, but you wish you did.
I want baseball, and I want Burlington to be the best community it can, and it can't be as good as it is without the Bees.
But then, you know what? Life's been good. I'm doing what I should do, and I'm where I should be.
Next April the 7th or whatever date it is, 2011, we're going to play baseball right here in Burlington, Iowa.